Hi everyone. Hi. My name is Ijeoma. Welcome to my channel where I talk about HR related content and its intersection with the law under the Naija HR Chic Series with more. The last time I spoke about my journey as a HR professional, part one, it was not even supposed to be a series, but during the course of my conversation, I just realized that I needed to absolutely get this out of my mind and into the atmosphere. Who knows, tomorrow I might actually write a book about it, but for now, let's just talk about it. So, what happened that made me decide, oh my god, I was absolutely going to do this for the rest of my life? Apart from the fact that it was something that resonated with me and it was easy for me to do as a professional, it was not, it became like a hobby. It didn't feel like work for me to, handle HR related roles and, management roles, even at my young age. So I had this interview at a very, very famous law firm in Lagos. I had just come back from the north and I decided to just show up and get this interview over and done with. That moment of indecision, you're thinking, okay, do I continue on this path of being a HR professional or do I try and see if I can go back to being a lawyer? Which is what I did. I prepared for the interview, showed up at the interview venue very early. I was recommended by someone who was already working there. I got there and one thing led to another. We were asked to take an exam, and which I did, but I found out that even while I was taking that exam, I met a couple of my colleagues from university who were like my juniors that had already working there, and the way I was made to feel like I was being done a favor to show up and interview, and I'm like, if you didn't need me, I'm not sure my CV would impress you enough to call me back. I showed up there, did the bit of the written interview. I was called back again for a an oral interview with a panel, which I showed up. And the questions I was asked were questions that at my level, I was thinking, okay, I was called to the bar like 3 years ago. I don't really think you should be asking me questions like the method of instituting an action in a court of competent jurisdiction, not because it was too elementary, but there were questions that I was sure to have forgotten the answers. I answered a couple of them, and then again, we got into the scenario questions. This is coming from the fact that I had never gone into a court of law, I had never drafted a statement of claim or a statement of defense, nothing that had to do with like normal court processes that you file. So yes, I may have been a greenhorn at that, but I just felt okay. This is me showing up and actually putting my foot out there to just not make it look like okay because I feel okay. After the interview, I was seated there, and the way I was spoken to, I'm not saying you shouldn't fire questions at a candidate, but I had never felt so small, and it was a very condescending situation. I almost felt like my self-esteem dropped literally in that moment. I knew the answers to some of the questions, but I kept mumbling, I don't know. Because I just, at some point, I felt like getting up and walking out of the interview venue because I just felt like, okay, I understand that you are supposed to be a panel to ask me questions, but for crying out loud, I may have gotten a few wrong answers. That does not give you the right to treat me like this dummy that doesn't know anything, right? Which was the vibe I got from the panel of interviewers. One was actually laughing under her breath, like I was a joke sitting across them, and I was like, this is a law firm. I'm a lawyer of 3 years at the bar. Why am I being made to feel like I am being done a favor by sitting across these people? So I started fumbling through the questions on purpose because I didn't like the fact that there was actually a HR person in that panel who could not call these people to action. Like, regardless of the fact that we are asking her questions, she also has the right to ask us questions, but you need to treat candidates with respect. And I felt that they lacked it. And that for me was like what spawned my mission. After that interview, I went back to do my master's, came out, and the very first place I worked at was a recruitment firm. And I started doing that. Regardless of who we were talking to, a client or a candidate, I always try to regard them with the highest respect. I never look down on anyone to say, oh, because this person was a candidate and because they need that job urgently, I would now have the right to speak to them anyhow. No, I didn't do that. And I think that it kind of just made me know, okay, Ijeoma, maybe you're not so off the mark. You're really on the right track. And maybe you should stick with just being in HR, because at the end of the day, maybe this calling of being a lawyer is just to help you do your job properly as a HR professional, but it's not something that you should be doing for life. I was angry for a bit about the whole situation, but I spoke to how I was able to get over it. I had to do some sort of meditation, to therapy, because yes, it kind of just affected my self-esteem at that point, to be very, very honest. That's to show you a bit of how bad the interview must have been. But that was when I just knew that, okay, this thing about being a lawyer, I think you have to die this right now and just concentrate on this path. Will it be easy? No, but you have to forge ahead. And it was a beautiful, beautiful journey for me after my master's, because it just felt like it kept going upwards. And that's how I was, of course, able to meet my career sponsor at the first place I worked at, who kind of just catapulted me to all the places I have been through since then. I maintained contact with him even after we've left, and from time to time he still asks my advice, so it's almost like a symbiotic relationship. And that's how and why I know that this journey as a HR professional is going to continue for as long as I know, as long as I know, as long as I remember, as long as I live. Let me know in the comment section what you think about today's video. Did you have an experience that made you think, oh, I have to remain in this sector, or have to remain as this professional in this area of expertise? Let me know. Let's chat. But till we meet again on this channel, don't forget to like, share, comment. Let's engage in the comment section, and subscribe. That is very, very key. Subscribe and share the awesomeness of this channel abroad to your friends, your family. Let them come. Let us talk about HR and the law. Till I come again, please do remember to stay safe, stay home, take care of yourselves, and most importantly, wear a mask. Bye.